So I heard Suzuki's releasing a new GSX-S. Don't know how I feel about it. Let's talk about it. Roll the intro. So while we're stopped here at my favorite place, the bank, let's talk about this here. So going down the line here, I mean, everything's similar, but I heard that they did a whole new frame on the GSX-8S. Sorry, it's so weird for me to say. So weight, of course, they made a new frame, so they're going to make it lighter. Power, we got 112 horsepower, 59 foot-pounds on the 750, and then on the 8S we got 83 horsepower, 57 foot-pounds, and that's only because it is a 2-cylinder. So we got seat height, very similar. I mean, not even, they're both 32, might as well say. Wheelbase, the 8S is a little longer, half-inch longer wheelbase. Length is the same. Tank size, you're going down a little bit. If you're looking at a 750 and going with the 8S, you're going down a little bit from a 4.2 to a 3.6. Motor size, of course, it's bigger, but it's a good old twin, baby. 270 degree, which can be found also in the MT-07. MSRP, I don't know what it's going to be, but I would definitely say it's near 75. I don't know. I really don't know. Seeing something that the 8S is going to replace the 750, I really don't see the twin market that big. But hey, if you're into a twin, so there's now something in the middle between the SV650 and the GSX-S 750. So there's also an option there. I also made something up with the MT-07 just because it's very similar. I mean, that would be the competition because GSX-S 750 is a competitor with the MT-09. So these two are great. I mean, they are very similar. 445 wet, 403, and then torque horsepower is a little more. 689 cc, and it's a 776. Price will probably be around the same. I don't really know. So I don't know. So let's get into a ride. We'll talk about everything else. So we always make jokes that he beats me 60 foot and everything else, but I finally got him on the 60 foot. Pretty proud of that one, I can't lie. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Oh my god, there's so much going on in life. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving with your family, friends, and great food, all that good stuff. It's been crazy, this weather now. I mean, it's already November, what, 20 something, about to be December, and I'm riding my bike. Like, I know that January, February, March, all that's going to be absolutely insane with how cold it's going to be. But yes, let's get into this GSX-8S. So weird how they have that. So if you're looking at something actually before this bike, I guess you could go with that. There's actually something in the middle now, which, like I said earlier, the SV650 and now the 8S and then the 750, but I think they're gonna try to go away with it, honestly. I mean, everybody's going away from inlines and going cross-plane or twins. It's crazy how much more they're effective riding, you know? The torque's there. It doesn't ramp. I've driven this for about 8,000 miles, so I got a pretty good understanding of the power band and all that stuff. So when I hopped on Austin's FC07, it was just insane how the torque is there, and I never feel like it ramped like how this you have to be really high up. It was always there in every gear. But I mean, I hate on cross planes because I just do not like the sound of a dirt bike on something I'll spend over $10,000 on, you know what I mean? I'm not a fan of it myself. I wouldn't sell this to get the 8S. But if you're coming up off of a SV650, I mean, that is like something you can go right to. Or if you're coming off like a 500 or any kind of twin that's under and you're looking for something a little bit more power before you step to something like a 750 or 600, that is a great option, and I'm glad that they came out with it. But I do not like that they said that they would replace the 750 with it, because why would you? Because you can't get something like this. Come on now, come on. But I feel like a big V8 guy when I say this, but I kind of bought this for the sound, because I am a simp for anything that is inline 4. I mean, the sound is just, come on now. You can't get that out of a twin or a crossplane or whatever. Even the R1s, I cannot stand how they sound. See, can't get that either. It's crazy, man. We'll get back to that in a second, but that bike is stupid. Anyways, I don't like how the R1 sound. I really don't. I do not like the sound of anything that's not an inline. You cannot tell me that the new CX-125R, the 125 inline 4, sounds absolutely mental compared to others in its class, which are a twin, and they sound like a dirt bike. And if I'm buying something that is a twin, it's going to be a Supermoto or DRZ or KLR or whatever the case may be. It's going to be something that is an actual dirt bike. But yeah, I just can't get down with that. But if you're into that kind of stuff, the 8S would be a great option for you. But if you're trying to like compare these two, you can't. The difference between the FZ and the 8S, which honestly, I don't see, I don't know, it kind of evens itself out, because you got something that's making, I don't even know how much less a weight, but power to weight is a real thing. So I would be curious to see how that would pan out, because you got the 8S that's gonna catch up in the end because of the power and the torque, but I just don't know. With the weight difference, it's insane. I think it's like 40-some pounds. Next season, I definitely want to race an MT-09, just because that's what this is compared to. And I've already raced the FZ-07. So I'd be really, really curious on how that is. You get a bigger body gentleman like myself on an MT-09, and then me, we'll see how that works out. But we'll talk about this ZZR right here. This thing, oh my God, the sound of it, the looks of it. Kawasaki really knew what they were doing when they built that. It's carbureted, you know, loves the cold and the cold starts and all that stuff, but which me, honestly, I'd never go back to carbureted, because I just can't deal with the whole choke, waiting. And some of them old bikes, not that one, but the older ones like I had, no gas gauge, temp gauge, anything. You're just like, ah, well, you open the cap and you're like, yeah, it's all right, you know, whatever. But this bike right here, I think it makes, I don't even remember, a buck, I can't remember. I don't want to say a $160 because it sounds high, but it might be. I mean, that bike is ridiculous. You can see how quick it took off on me in the video. Oh, listen to that. Oh my goodness. So next year we're going to be making a little more power. I'm going to try to squeeze every horsepower I can out of this. But yeah, man, I'm really excited for next year. Got a lot of stuff planned. You know, and I want to get into another bike. It's just right now, the money's not where it needs to be. And I wouldn't feel right just leaving this, you know, kind of half built and then get into another project. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this fully and then get into another build once this is where I want it to be. And also, we got to say, what is Suzuki doing with these front headlights on these new GSX-S? Somebody got a hold of a tablet and they screwed everything up with how the new headlights are. The double stack LEDs, they look terrible. I don't know what you're doing, Suzuki, but could you please stop? But so yeah, if you're coming up from a 650 or 500, 650, whatever, don't want to go into this quite yet, you do have another option, which is nice. But yeah, they're gonna wrap things up, guys. I'm gonna try to keep riding as long as I can, as long as I can stand the cold. But if you guys like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stick around if you're new. I'll be seeing you on the flip side. Peace.